Good morning, beloveds. So I had the football player's name wrong when I did the prayer request yesterday. The football player is Damar Hamlin. For some reason I thought his last name was Williams. I don't know what that was about. So, and I do have another prayer request, but I'm not going to use any names. There are a couple of people, one who's treating for clarity, and I would like him to stop using Band-Aids, which is what the clarity is about, but okay. And then two, there's a person who is going to have a very hard event today. Actually, several people are involved. And so I would like to surround them with love and comfort and peace. So, you can do prayer requests without needing names. That's the amazing thing about Spirit. Spirit always knows. So, okay, January 4th. The title is, I am free from lack. The first quote is, the Lord shall guide thee continually and satisfy thy soul in drought and make fat thy bones. And that is Isaiah 58:11. The second quote is, through spiritual discernment, we see that we have within us a power which is greater than anything we shall ever contact. And that is Science of Mind, page 146. Would you lay down? Settle down. Settle down. Many people do not know how to fulfill their own needs. They look for someone else to take care of them and to tell them what to do or even how to be. Many people marry in order to feel complete, only to discover that this does not provide the wholeness they are seeking. Such a futile approach only compounds a sense of lack and incompleteness. We need to discover that no one and nothing can fill our greatest underlying need to know and accept ourselves. All that we need is already present within us, and we can turn inward and receive the guidance that enables us to meet our needs. This can take time and practice, especially if we have covered over our sensitivities with self-blame, insecurity, and denial of our feelings. Nevertheless, the presence of wholeness lives intimately within us. We were born with the capacity for loving, problem-solving, and self-direction. Let us begin to change our beliefs and accept ourselves as capable, fulfilled human beings, knowing that our lives reflect these truths through the awareness of our true identity. God creates all that is, and I daily use divine wisdom in all that I think, say, and do. I accept myself as capable and inventive. I accept myself as a problem solver. I greet others from the basis of my strengths, not my weaknesses. God in me guides, heals, and renews me daily. I am filled with life's goodness, and I am deeply grateful. And that is M.S. Margaret Stortz. She hit a kind of a sensitive thing there. Many people marry in order to feel complete, only to discover that this does not provide the wholeness they are seeking. One of the areas that I find very compelling is relationship. Because I'm of the belief that if we teach teenagers how to have a good relationship with themselves, and then teach them how to have good relationships with each other, that they will, and I'm going to use the word marry better. They will have better relationships. But it does kind of start with that relationship with yourself. Because you don't marry somebody to complete yourself. Marriage is a partnership of two whole, complete people who come together to work together, but each in and of themselves are complete. One of the things they talk about marriage being 50-50. No, marriage is 100-100. But sometimes I've only got 20%. And so he picks up the 80%. And sometimes I've got 120% and he can rest. a little bit. And that's kind of the way it goes. We both give 100%, but when one or the other of us can't give 100% because we don't have it, then the other person can help pick up the slack until, they don't pick up that slack and keep it, what they do is they pick up the slack until the other partner has rested and can now pick back up their part. It's a give and take in a relationship. And so that's one of my big believers. Well, so then how do you teach people to have good relationships with themselves? Well, you start off with who they are. Okay. You have heard me say, and you will hear me say again, society, culture, religion, all of this, they have very specific ideas about who we are, and none of them are the truth. None of them are the truth. If you allow society and culture and religion and politics and gender and all of that to tell you who you are, then you are, as she says, covering over your sensitivities. You want to get to know yourself beneath all of that. What is underneath the stereotypes? There was one where I saw we spend a lot of time unlearning. And that was one of the interesting things, because I've now reached the 5th decade. So I've got 5 decades behind me. And so I can say, when you're growing up, you are growing into. So you are not fully formed. You are growing and you are learning and you are taking in the world around you, and you're going, okay, well, this is fantastic. And you get to try on personalities and roles and things like that. You get to try on all of that. And that continues pretty much through your 20s. And that's one of the things that makes the 20s so exciting and so awful. Because you don't know who you are. You are in the process of trying it on. Generally, by the time you get to your 30s, you have a pretty good idea of who you are, or at least who you want to be. And then that's what you continue to work on, which is why I had a firmer grasp of myself in my 30s, continuing into my 40s. It's like, okay, nope. And occasionally I still try things on. It's okay. Do I want to try this? But I have a pretty good grasp of who I am. And because I know who I am, then when I have relationships with other people, what they think of me is less important. I care about other people's feelings, but what they think about me is none of my business. I never want to hurt somebody's feelings. I never want to do that, but I don't care what they think of me, because I know who I am, and because I know who I am, and I make regular connections to the source of my own being, then I can have healthy relationships with other people because I'm not looking for parts of them to complete myself. So the summer assignment that Jessie gave us, which is to know who we are, and to treat that everybody else knows who they are, is really kind of an excellent foundation for how to have healthy relationships. Once you know who you are, then you are no longer looking for other people to complete you. So then you are not grasping at what they are. Do you guys come together, make fantastic partnerships, and walk away? Yes, but it's not about completing each other. It's not. You are a healthy, whole, complete person in and of yourself. And when you can do that, then meeting your own needs is easier because you know who they are, you know who you are, and you know what your needs are. And that's one of those really cool things. Until you have a pretty good grasp of who you are, the needs that you may be filling may not be your own, which is why you don't feel fulfilled. It's like, well, so-and-so told me that I need this. Okay, but if it's not one of your needs, then when you get this, you don't feel fulfilled, and you wonder why. Okay? So, that's the point. I am free. What was the title? I am free from lack. Well, the way you get free from lack is by knowing who you are, knowing what needs you have, and then allowing, that creative spirit within you to guide you to what you need to fulfill those needs. And I don't know if that's the way Margaret Stortz would have gone with this, but that's the way I did. So, it really does all come back to knowing who you are. It does. And I like that the quote they chose from Science of Mind. Through spiritual discernment, we see what we have within us. We see that we have within us a power which is greater than anything we ever shall contact. To know who you are, you must make regular trips to the source of your own being, which is what spiritual practice is. You make regular trips to the source of your own being. I like to say you go and look at the blueprints. You go and look at God's idea of who you are and forget what anybody else has ever told you about who you are. And it will open a Pandora's box of qualities that you didn't know you had that will serve you going forward. All right, Margaret. Let's see what the mission today is. Because I could just tell you the mission today is knowing who you are. But I think the mission today, should we choose to accept it, is to know that all that we need is already present within us and that we can turn inwards to receive that guidance. All right? When you have a need, the first place you go is in. You go to the source of your own being and you say, hey, this is what I am working on. Let me have all the guidance. And then the second part of that is to listen. And it may take us places that we weren't expecting. And that is the really interesting thing and cool thing about spirit. It can take us to all the places. All right, that's the mission. The second thing, as always, is the spiritual practice of doing something loving for yourself, doing something kind for yourself, doing something compassionate for yourself. It can range from taking a nap, to taking a walk, to taking a deep breath, to going and hugging a tree, to calling a friend, to drinking and engaging all 5 of your senses in a warm beverage. It can look like eating dessert first. And you've heard me talk about this. 1, I literally mean eat dessert first. Or 2, think of it as a metaphor. Don't save the good stuff. Don't save the good stuff. Use the good stuff now. Take care of yourself. I encourage you to test this on yourself because you are your own best test subject. You get immediate feedback. Is this loving? Is this kind? Is this compassionate? But I also say it because you deserve your own love. You deserve your own kindness. You deserve your own compassion. Absolutely, bar none. This is it. You deserve your own love. Okay? You deserve your own compassion. You deserve your own kindness. Practice on yourself. All right. I'm a little today, so I'm going to move on into I encourage you to do something to engage your mind and your body, whatever that looks like today, unless this is your day of rest. If it's your day of rest, rest. I encourage you to drink plenty of water. Hydration is important. Your brain works better when it is hydrated. I encourage you to get early in your day bright light. I talk about circadian rhythms. That is a rhythm of hormones. They have a cycle, a natural cycle. That early in your day, bright light helps to reset that into a natural pattern. Especially if you are living an unnatural, like if you get up before the sun does, then go get that early bright light. And that will help to reset those hormones so that you will sleep better and have more energy during your day. All right. It is science. You can look it up. And then as always, in the words of Ernest Holmes, open the windows of your soul. Allow the breath of heaven to remind you, you do live in heaven right here, right now. Okay. Heaven is a state of mind. It is a state of consciousness. Once you learn that, heaven ceases to be a place and can become any place. All right. It is absolutely a superpower, and it is a superpower that each and every one of us was born with. Jesus said the kingdom of heaven is within you because he recognized and taught that it was a state of mind. It is a state of mind and heart. All right. So I talked about knowing who you are. When you know who you are, you recognize the inborn Christ consciousness that you have, and that how that you activating that creates heaven on earth for you. And once you can do that, you can get through anything. You can get through anything. So, and you can always take him as advice. Look for the good and praise it. And you know me, I love looking for the little goods that add up into the big goods, but I am not going to turn my nose up at a big good. So, any good. And I'm going to remind you that you are a beloved child of God, which means you are good. So when you are looking for the good, there's always you to start with. All right. You are made by God, of God, for God. You are definitely part of the good. Okay. Here's the social media part. We are Creative Life Spiritual Center, Creative Life Spark. I'm the running Rev Ryan on the social medias that I am on. If you want to know what's going on at the center, please email info@creativelife.org. That puts you on the constant contact. The hot links are hot. They will either take you directly to the information you want, or they will take you to the, there are words, hang on, to the person that will get you the information you need. I know. Okay. It is Wednesday. I'm kind of looking forward to Saturday. The dog is really upset. All right. Okay. So here is where I get to encourage you to have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonder-filled day, an awesome day, an awe-filled day, a get to know yourself day, a check for that inner guidance day, whatever that was, just popped out of my head day. Because, there it is. There it is. It's okay. It'll come back when it's ready. A good day. And if that is too much pressure, simply have a day, because you are enough just as you are. As I have said before and will continue to say, you are a beloved child of God. You are a bright light. You are a brilliant, a bright light, brilliant light, divine spark, a godling. You are spirit in motion. You are God in action. All right. You might be the answer to somebody's prayer, and you'll never know that. And that's just really cool. But you are a beloved child of God in whom God is well pleased and well represented. All right. Know who you are. And if you don't know, do a little exploring. You will be surprised by what you uncover. So, all right. Reverend David should be on around 5 p.m. with you. I will be back with you around 9 a.m. Right here on Facebook Live. And I think that's what I know. So take care of yourself. Know that you are loved, and I will see you next time.